everyone. Before we get into this video, I wanted to thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. That's just fucking insane to me. I mean, last week we hit 100, and then here we are a week later hitting 200. I mean, absolutely massive thank you to everyone who is subscribed. I mean, you guys are just fucking legendary to the billionth degree, and I guess all I can say now is just let's make it to 1,000 now. I mean, sky's the limit. But genuinely, I mean, none of this is possible without you guys, so literally, you guys get all the props. Thank you guys so much. I mentioned in the previous video that I would be doing a video on Vanguard's campaign. Well, here we are. Let me just say, Vanguard's campaign is some of the most abhorrent shit that I've ever experienced. It's incredibly disrespectful to the people who actually served in the Second World War. It doesn't care at all about its source material, about the actual historical event that it's based off of. And so because of how much I hate this game's campaign, I decided that I was going to go through and write notes about all of the campaign missions. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have as much time this week. I've been super busy. I just got a new job, so a video as long as this is going to start taking a lot longer to make. So this will be just the first 3 missions, and then the rest of the 6 will come into later episodes. Anyhow, with that out of the way, let's get started with mission 1. You start out the first mission of the Vanguard campaign with some monologuing from your squad leader Kingsley. Don't remember the dialogue? Don't care about the dialogue. So the mission starts with you opening inside of a German train. How you got to that German train? Who knows? So this first part of the mission is monotony, like physical monotony. I mean, it's literally just you running zigzag in between train cars and just looking at really boring scripted events. This is about when I started to write my notes. So the first one we have is, why is there a marksman on a moving train? I mean, you have your Russian female sniper, Polina, on this moving train. Like, this whole operation is close quarters. Why is she here? None of it makes sense. Her whole, like, position in this mission makes an iota of sense once. And it's when she gives you cover when you were first entering the German base. So, I mean, yeah, there's that. I see these ammo boxes. Cool, I can tap F to get ammo. I mean, that takes away literally all of the challenge from the mission, so I can literally just keep my same weapon throughout the entire thing, but alright. Okay, why do I have to hold F for grenades? I don't know. It's a weird discrepancy that just bugged me. It's not that a huge deal, but I don't know. I find it bothersome. Now here is something that is actually bothersome and kind of annoying. Characters kind of speak to you as if they're that uninvited uncle at a family gathering who, like, talks you up to, like, make you, like, feel like a grown-up, I guess. Make you feel stronger. I don't know. It's like that, but even less pleasant. Actually, now that I think about it, they actually kind of suck you off the whole mission. It's kind of fucking weird. I don't like that. We're getting through the train section. Yeah, there's trucks that drive up. The Germans obviously know that we're on the train. It's not exactly communicated to me how they know that we're on the train, but either way, trucks, shoot guys, tank, shoot guy, Amtrak, shoot guy. It's very repetitive, and actually, something that I've just kind of noticed, why is the train, like, silent? Aren't trains supposed to be really loud? I don't know, but, like, having a little bit of environmental noise goes a lot to making a game feel more believable and lived in. Whatever, at least that's out of the way. And as we make our way further into the compound, just shooting at enemies that stand still. Yay, very fun. Oh, hey, well, look at this little red button here. Maybe it's an Easter egg, because when I do damage to it, it starts blinking at me. I don't know. Whoa, wait, you tell me that they went into this op not knowing anything Like, hold on. So all they were given was a location and a really half-assed objective, but like, why? We're this late into the war. The fuck were they worried about? I mean, yeah, there's the Soviets that they were worried about, but I mean, like, this makes no sense because there's needs to be some urgency. Like, even fuck realism from a storytelling standpoint. What is the significance of this box? Okay, Kingsley says it's their best kept secret. Okay. And it's 1945. The war ends in Europe in like a few months, if that. Because judging by the general like lack of snow or any indication that it's cold out, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably pretty close to the end of the war. Like, there's absolutely no motivation given to the player up to this point as to like why they're doing what they're doing. That is a theme that you're going to notice as we continue through this. Continuing onward. So you get off the train and okay, so there's some guards standing there. They're all being quiet. Okay, I assume that this will be a stealth section. Nope, apparently not, because the moment that you shoot one of the guards, every single guard knows immediately where you are. Stealth gets thrown out the fucking window. Awesome. Very fun. I love pseudo-stealth. I mean, besides the pseudo-stealth, rain is falling in bursts, and I can see through the floor. I think I had one too many pizzolis with the gamers. So at this point, I decided to stop pausing my game to write notes because I discovered that the AI, regardless of where you are, they will just sit in one spot and just patiently wait for you. They do not care. Look at those genuine World War II operatives moving like modern Spec Ops soldiers do. Yes, this is a World War II game Activision trademarked. So they finally discuss a plan to do a thing. Okay, cool. We got the guns to shoot them. Yeah, cool. Nice quip, American guy. I shoot the Nazis, they die. That's my plan. This feels like it was written by a 5-year-old that was just given $1 billion to go and write a compelling Second World War story. I mean, not even just that. Like, this dialogue is almost comical. It sounds like some shit that you would hear in, like, Team Fortress 2. Get inside of this German base and, like, they're moving pretty slowly down there for knowing that there are allies assaulting the base. I don't know, it just doesn't seem very convincing. You get to this area, and then one of the biggest, like, narrative issues that I had heard kind of pops up right around here. Kingsley assumes that the Germans would have their best kept secret in Berlin, which, mind you, at this point, both the Russians and the Allies were at Berlin's gates. So riddle me this. If the Germans decided they were going to start moving things out of Berlin, why the fuck would they have their best kept secret in Berlin? Does that make any sense to you? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. And that's never brought up again. Not once. This game's a fucking disaster. So I'm sure you might have noticed at this point that every single sound, from the explosions to the Germans' death sound to the weapons firing and reloading and rechambering, every single one of those sounds are from COD World War II. There is not a single original sound that I can think of off the top of my head right now. If there is one, then whatever, who cares? That's not what you're here to watch. You're here to watch me tear this apart, I would assume, at least. Oh, alright, well, that didn't take very long. I can see the kind of writing that we're getting. Add 1 to the counter. Oh, the player character died after getting their dick sucked earlier in the mission. Who would have thought? Whoa, it's almost like this whole game has been ultra fucking predictable at this point.
People die.
Jesus fucking Christ, Paulina, shut the fuck up. You're so annoying. You talk about anything else, dude? And you might be wondering, well, what about that red light in the mission? Well, it just does that. There's no Easter egg. I tried to find one, but there's nothing. It is the most disappointing shit of all time, but I'm not surprised. One credit that I will give to this game is that I had been playing a lot of Battlefield recently, and in that game, to interact, it is the E button. But in COD, it is one of the few games like this. It is F to interact with things. So upon trying to, well, pull this larger-than-life, ultra-heavy desk away from the door with Kingsley, I accidentally pressed E. And upon killing myself with the grenade, I discovered that there was an achievement for doing just that. F to pay respect. It's nice to see the devs were kind of self-aware when they gave us this piece of trash. So this mission opens up. You're in the airborne unit, landing behind the beaches of Normandy to take out the Casemates before the D-Day landings. It's ripped straight from the first Call of Duty games campaign, except not, because again, there's the really shallow stealth. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Jumping into this mission, you see Kingsley's chute get burned up, and what does he do? He pulls a reserve chute. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Chief. I don't think that they had reserve chutes in World War II. Not just that, but I'm pretty sure that the chutes deployed when they jumped out of the aircraft from the air getting into the bagged up chute from through the fabric. I don't know entirely how chutes work, but every single World War II film that I've ever seen has showed the chutes deploying as soon as they jump out of the aircraft. Anyway, you land in the water, you do some stealthy shit, and yeah, yada yada. At least this German's probably the most intelligent AI that I've seen yet. Decided to bayonet charge this poor son of a bitch instead of wasting ammo on him, because he probably needed to. When you pick up his Kar 98, it has like 3 bullets in it. Like, what were you shooting at, dude? Like, also, why were you hiding in that bush? There's nothing there. I hate this game's scripted sequences so much. You're also the only black guy in this entire campaign, I'm pretty sure. At least for the 3 missions that I've played so far. Oh, sorry, I spoiled it. But yeah, you're the only black guy in this entire campaign, so it shows that Activision didn't want to lean into the whole diversity thing all the way. Stealth is super shallow. The Germans are blind and deaf, and I'm gonna be honest, I think that Battlefield has better stealth than this, and that's saying a lot. So you kill these Germans out here in this field, you take an MP40 that has a... Oh, Jesus Christ, that is a big mag on that MP40. Is that a snail mag or something? Either way, you go into this house and it slows your movement to a crawl. You know, COD 4 had like an identical section to this. Literally identical. Like same like locations and everything. There were hay bales you could hide behind. Russians instead of Germans walking around the field. And there was a house in the upper right-hand corner of the field. Guess where the house is in this upper right-hand corner? The difference is, in COD 4, when you get inside of that house, the game doesn't slow your movement down. What a fucking novel concept. And this bullshit where the game slows you down to make you look at all this pretty garbage that we put all over the floor. Look at our fucking shelves and our fucking Furby collection over here in the far left next to this picture of a fucking gremlin. It continues all the way through the house until finally puts you into a field. There's a flare there and a bunch of Germans come over the hill. Classic Call of Duty, you know, one dude versus like a whole like platoon of Germans. But then the flare goes out and you're like, okay, cool, so they shouldn't be able to see me, right? Or at least they'll have a way harder time trying to hit me. Nope. It's like the Germans have like night vision goggles or some shit, because they can still shoot you perfectly fine in the dark. Also might have noticed that up until this point that my game has been absolutely chugging and still doesn't look very good. Hold on. There's this bastard bug that I need to close the window. Yeah. God damn cicadas. Okay, now that we're past the horny cicadas, let's continue talking about a bad video game. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yes, the graphics. So I had my graphics on ultra setting because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna record this game, at least I'll make it look nice for the people who decide to, you know, get a window into how truly awful this game's campaign is. And it was just chugging. I noticed that the recording was starting to lag. It was having a pretty big impact on both my CPU and GPU, which, by the way, they're not the best specs in the world, but an i7-9700K and a 3070 Ti, I thought that my PC would do fine, but no, apparently not. which is a common complaint that I've heard, is that the performance with this game is abysmal. And yeah, I turned that shit down to medium and it looks identical. It literally looks exactly the same as Ultra. There are like a few minor differences here and there. What the hell, dude? I also wanted to mention, like, during this gunfight that you have with the two German squads, there's so many invisible walls, and that is a trend that continues through most of the game. Something looks traversable, but no, it's got an invisible wall. Like, Call of Duty has always been a linear shooter, but Jesus Christ, this is definitely one of the most hand-holdy games. Actually, it's kind of funny that I already talked about the graphics, because apparently here in my notes, I wrote Ultra graphics look like shit. Good insight past me. I'm glad that you noticed that. Now that we're past this fucking part with the Germans, Jesus Christ, why am I still running so slow? So you get over the hill, you see burning windmill. If this looks familiar, it's because they reuse the same area for zombies. I'm not joking. Kill some dudes in this house, and then you come out and somehow this guy mistakes you for a German? Like, even if you had the silhouette, the helmet doesn't match at all. Those paratrooper helmets were way thicker and wider than the German Stahlhelms. Even then, I mean, I assume that every NPC can see perfectly fine during the night, so I don't know if I should point this out, but like, the Germans were kind of racist in World War II. Do I need to say more? No, hey, the player doesn't cast a shadow in 2022. Another credit that I will give to this game, the weapon models are absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the best MP40s that I've ever seen in a video game, barring milsims or whatever. With as much money as this game cost to make, or as much money as Activision has, you would kind of hope that the weapon models at the very least would be goddamn gorgeous, right? I mean, I only paid $60 for this fucking game. I want my $60 video game World War II guns. Right. Oh man, you playing with the mud? Good. Here you meet Corporal White Guy. I don't remember his name. Corporal White Guy wants to be the squad leader and suggests holding out and waiting for cavalry. And you, the player, Kingsley, you retort saying, no, we gotta go take out the casemates. Corporal White Guy argues that we need to sit here and wait for cavalry, we need to wait for backup to arrive. What fucking backup? Does he just expect the entire rest of the airborne invasion force to just go and find them specifically? Kingsley here is actually pretty rational, I would say, even saying that no, they're doing their job, we need to go do our job. Corporal White Guy still wants to be squad leader until the only other voice actor they could afford to hire comes up and says, I agree with Kingsley. I forgot his fucking name. But anyway, yeah, fucking Corporal White Guy has really bad dialogue that just makes no fucking sense. And even after he gets the only other guy with a voice actor in the squad to agree with you, he still refuses to elaborate. He literally has Giga Chad dialogue. I actually wrote that in my notebook. That's a note that I have here. Says, oh my god, I was so tired when I wrote this. I didn't realize. Here they reuse an asset from Modern Warfare, one of many you will notice. Actually, this whole game is kind of a hodgepodge of reused assets, but anyway, they reuse the asset of lifting up a thing and you climb under it. Except here's the thing, it's not like it's a hallway or something where they kind of need to do that. They're in an open fucking field and it's a piece of wood. They literally could have just picked it up and moved it to the side. So you get underneath this piece of wood. I looked behind me just because I was curious to see if the other soldiers had an animation for crawling under the wood too. No, they just phased through it. Any scripted event just has all like intrigue about it just stripped away from it, simply because the game has had no effort put into it. I wrote bruh in my notes. Good note that kind of describes my whole experience with this. Crawl through, and then once again there's this fucking pseudo fucking stealth part, and it was just like, stay quiet and get close so you can get through the gate. I don't get close at all, and it gives me the prompt to attack, which, by the way, I'll be bringing up that squad leader prompt in a minute. They just open up before they even get close to the fucking gate. So screw whatever I said, who cares? Just everything does whatever it wants at any given time. There is no form. Very convenient smoke grenades. These'll be useful. Definitely. So it's tearing up the house, you say. I don't know about that. That's a little dramatic. I'd say that it's tearing up the predetermined, very visible spot in which it was allowed to tear apart, not the whole house. Don't worry, Private White Guy. I think we'll be fine. So get past here, you kill the half-track gunner like you did in the first mission, whatever, yada yada, same fucking thing. And then you get to this other scripted event. Okay, so there's an MG42 nest, and I have smoke grenades. This must be where I'm supposed to use them. So I tossed a smoke grenade. Well, first I ordered my squad to suppress the MG42, and then I would toss my smoke grenade. I'm running up, and then I fucking die to the MG42. No, that's not what you're supposed to do, apparently. You're supposed to have them suppress it. You run up to an area, you throw a grenade into the nest, it explodes, train go boom. I swear to fucking God. This is the most cookie cutter shit that I have ever fucking seen. There is absolutely no deviating from the given path, which would be fine if the game was like trying to be, I don't know, an interactive movie or something. Like Modern Warfare, for instance. Pretty good campaign, very linear. For the most part, there were some decently non-linear parts. If you're gonna do something super linear, at least make it good. Yeah, I actually tried to predict here in my notes that the smoke grenades be useful for the scripted MG42 sequence. I said yes. I was let down that far. I was expecting it to just be a predictable sequence, but no. Fuck all that. The smoke grenades, they don't ever get used. I mean, even past shooting through the smokes, it was able to shoot me through the floor that it was in. Like, god damn it, dude. And this is about when I realized that the squad command feature was given to me for specific events. It doesn't give you any, like, malleability with it. So you make it past the MG42, you get into this German truck, the Oberblitz, some monologuing that I couldn't care less about, and talking about like bonding with this corporal white guy from earlier. Don't care. They're both really flat characters. 15 seconds later, the blitz drive is over and it's daytime. The fuck? I'm not an expert on history. I just like to go down rabbit holes pretty often, but I'm like 99% sure this battle took place at night. There's a video here that goes into detail about every single historical inaccuracy of the Vanguard campaign, which I will not be going through. So if you guys want to see a full list of the Vanguard campaign historical inaccuracies, I highly encourage you to go watch that video. After you're done with this one, of course. Links in the description. Building off of the fact that it took place at night, like they've mentioned already in dialogue that like they're a depleted force. As a depleted force, you want to assault a heavily fortified German position in the day? You have less people, less ammo, are incredibly tired, demoralized, and you decide to assault a German bunker during the fucking day. Look at that. This game's attempting to knock off the leaf particles in Battlefield 5. That's cute. Oh, and Battlefront 2, I almost forgot about that. Oh my god, bro. Look at your fucking face. Oh, this game's development was not kind to you. Jesus Christ, look at this dude. So you talk with this field commander, whatever you want to call him, and he says, well, we can't just drive the trucks in because the engine noise will attract the attention of the Germans. Our character, being the galaxy brain he is, says, okay, well, we still need to get through the minefield, so what if we just manually drive the trucks in without any engine? So no engine noise, right? That'll be silent so we can get the jump on them. Without realizing that at the end of the day, neither of those things matter because you're still driving the truck into a fucking minefield. Hint, mines explode when they have contact made with them. Explosions are loud. Whatever, skip to that part of the scene, mission, whatever you want to call it. And the MG42 just starts shooting at you anyway. Cool. Literally, they could have just driven it through the minefield with the engine turned on. It wouldn't have made a single fucking difference. So, run through that minefield. Anyway, you get down into this trench. Get down into this trench. There's, like, soldiers of shell shock. So, you're like, oh, damn. It's finally starting to, like, be a realistic depiction of war. You literally just tell this fucking dude to man up, and he's got shell shock. And he just does it. He doesn't give a shit. Same thing with this dude over here. This is the only time you do that in the entire game. They literally scripted that in just for this part for two different people. They try to like put a shroud around your eyes to make you think that it's telling a realistic war story, but it's not willing to take any of the risks that an actual war story has to do. So it just does really stupid, almost embarrassing shit like this to try and get the player to care about the situation that you're in. This is absolutely fucking laughable. How bad and just outright fucking disrespectful this is. Anyway, continuing through, past this point, it's just really bog standard. Oh, what the fuck? That's a weird name for a Luger. Oh, and in case you were wondering, the actual standard issue German sidearm of the Second World War is not present in this game, even though it was far more common. So you get up into the bunker, there's more scripted scenes. So like there's a part after one of your teammates throws a thermite inside of this little bunker, burns all the Germans out, some shit straight out of World at War. There's a what looks to be dead German with a flashlight next to him. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen because their flashlight's right next to him. So in an attempt to jump scare the player, they have this German grab onto your arm and then just go limp. It's so half-assed because the animation lasts for like 2 seconds and the fucking soldier has no facial posing at all. Oh, they didn't even fucking try. Go through, put thermite inside gun go boom. Oh, go onto this part of the bunker. Ooh, it's dark inside, scary. Yo, what the fuck? There was no like sound, like no alert sound until like after he hit me. Enemies telegraphing their presence has been a thing since like, you know, 1992 with Wolfenstein 3D. I guess they just didn't see it as being worth it to include in this game. What do I know about games being fun? There's that, and get up and you destroy that gun, and whoa, look at that. Flare gun to tell the Brits to not shell you doesn't work. I feel like I've seen this before. You run back across this field, you go back to the other bunker where your friend guy was, and yep, another scripted sequence, and they modeled it to try and look gruesome, but like that looks terrible. Yeah, I'm on medium graphics, but I'm on medium graphics. This shit looks like low. I don't even want to know what ultra graphics looks like. I have no hope for this campaign already, and if my tone hasn't told you already, please, for the love of God, don't buy this game for the campaign. Don't buy this game for any aspect of it. Scripted emotional experiences, they lose what little they had going for them, for the simple fact that the developers never gave half a shit about this garbage-ass World War II quote-unquote experience. Fuck this game, dude. If you're gonna make a game based in the Second World War, and you're going to tout it as being an authentic experience, you need to just have fucking balls and lean into the brutality of the Second World War. In reality, war is gray. When you're a cog in the machine out on the field, ideologies and shit, that's left behind. All that matters is it's a fight for survival. As that cog are only occasionally reminded in moments of silence of what your goal is. By the end of a war story, you shouldn't leave feeling like good guys won. At the end of a war story, you should leave pondering the lessons of what a war story is supposed to tell. That war is fucking terrible. Yeah, what did those Battlefield developers say back in 2018 prior to Battlefield 5? That they wanted to be the on the right side of history. Look at how well that did for them. Good fucking job, Sledgehammer. You fucked up. And yeah, outro.